Hello, everybody. Welcome to the party. My name is Kevin. I'll be your guide through the mad world of Rifts.
Yes.
I don't know if I got the number right, but it was close. All
Close
right.
enough.
So this is Welcome to the Party. We're dedicated to creating an inclusive and equitable gaming community where folks can come and learn how to stream and play some games on stream, and we give them a place to do it. We have some fantastic sponsors. Devin Rue, maker of amazing fantasy maps at rueinc.com. Tabletop Loot, who has great stuff like dice, shirts, and mugs and more at tabletoploot.com, and is always fun to see spelled out because it's table to plute.
Table to plute.
And of course, So Nerdware, our official merch sponsor. Use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase at sonerdware.com. So Nerdware, it's what the nerds wear.
I like that Kevin is our PBS GM.
Yes.
He's
True.
yeah.
Coming up next, Antiques Roadshow, we'll be looking at some spook artifacts.
NPR.
All right, and we also have an amazing Patreon at which has some great articles about Shadowrun and Rifts and other great things, and session zeros for some of our games and early access to podcasts. And that can be found at patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg. And we have an amazing Discord full of wonderful people that we are always excited to make new friends in. All right. So this is Rifts, Blood, Dirt, and Chrome. Does someone want to do a quick recap?
Yeah, I can do last week. Hey, you always do it. Let me do it this time.
Yeah, tell me what happened.
Yeah, so we were looking for some goo on top of Cloud City, but we kind of screwed it up a little bit by making the leaders of Cloud City not like us so much by getting in a fight with the other people who were looking for the same goo. We wanted to take it back to our folks over in Missouri. They wanted to take it back to my hometown, and I weirdly didn't want that to happen for some reason. And we kind of got in a fight. It turned out at least two of them were not who they said they were. And so we hogtied one for them, and then the other one got away. But we got the thing that they tried to steal back. And then I was all like, hey, so we we didn't fuck it up. We did you a favor, but I can imagine how it could be seen as being fucked up by people in charge. So why don't we do you another favor so that you like us more and give us the goo? And the lady was like, yeah, my cousin who's out over in this town needs to, I haven't heard from her in a few weeks. And so we went out there. With an amazing kind of pacifisty dog boy friend of ours. It turned out that she had used, was it demon-infused paint, and that was kind of hurt people and made her hear things and made us hear things, and then we realized that there was some sort of horrible witch beast in the orchard that was feeding off of the vines, and we killed the horrible witch beast, and we brought her back with us to Sky City.
That's just about right. Yeah.
I leave
exactly
you
right.
guys for 2 sessions.
It was good stuff.
Yeah, it was.
And the one place that's like Mr. Rogers' neighborhood is now what?
I mean, to be fair, it was a hideous painting, so it's not like there was no love lost there.
Yeah.
We burned it in the middle of the street.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we burned the hell
And
out
I think
of
I punched it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
You kicked it. Oh, yeah, you did punch it. That's
I
right.
punched it with my metal fist and didn't get possessed. I remember Kevin saying, "You're not possessed," and that scared me because that meant that was a possibility.
I was like, wait, which arm did you use? Okay. All right. A couple other points of interest. Cagney, the wonderful dog boy, was also from the Colorado Baronies, which the other group was from, and had been attacked by the Coalition out of nowhere, leaving only him the only survivor, and they probably believed him dead. He showed up, and there was a mage here with the Baronies group that I forgot to have you introduce yourselves, but Jericho Jack
we can do it after the recap.
took a real disliking to,
Fuck that guy.
and he seemed to have some secrets he did not want to give up.
Yeah, he tried to kill himself with cyanide, right?
Yeah.
That
Which
didn't
was a
work.
mistake, because the psychic dog boy.
Cagney pulled that shit right out.
Fun ways to die. Oh, man.
All right. And on this person, as you came back, you met up with. I was going to call her Fiorenza, but that's something else. Florentina.
That is
Good
something
name.
else.
Yes.
A good something else, but a something else.
Florentina, the security chief who had been, or security personnel who had been consulting with you, showed you a thing they took off that mage, and it was a kind of a little challenge coin sized thing where
Yeah.
it's a triangle with a black circle on top of it with a very stylized V shaped kind of like a triangle pointing down. I put it in the chat I put it in the Welcome to the Party Discord under Risk Blood or Blood Dirt and Chrome, if you would like to look at it. It is a very interesting symbol. Now, we'll say you're all standing. Oh, let's introduce ourselves. Let's start with Jovra.
Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm playing Jovra, an Atlantean artifact hunter, and she has a blue dragon named Zarsik.
All right, Iola.
Hi, I'm Kate. I play Iola, the half fairy wizard thief.
Okay. Hello.
Hello. My name is. I am that girl at that place, and I play Hello the robot. Nothing French about her. I just felt like saying that.
All right, Harkins.
Hey, I'm Throck, also known as Sean. You can call me Harkins. I play our cowboy side slinger, and today I play our extra quiet cowboy side slinger because I am a little sick, and I'm here for the funsies.
All right, and Jericho Jack.
Hello, everybody. I am Evan. I'm Evan Jennings64 on the Twitter, and I am playing Jericho Jack, the mercenary that saved the day and
that is
killed
not what
that
happened.
wit with fire.
No.
You're welcome.
No. If anybody saved the day, it was Cagney who made sure they all weren't frightened. Let's be real.
That's true.
And very much single-handedly locked down every major bad guy.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Cagney,
To the DM's frustration.
when you have cool powers, use
A
them.
big cool witch came out of the ground. I scared the shit out of her. Oh, you scared the shit out of her. Damn it.
That's awesome.
Not again.
All right, so Cagney's there with you when the symbol, when Florentina brings over the symbol. Would anyone like to look at it?
Yes, please.
Do I recognize this?
No, not really.
Am I active at this point?
Not yet.
Do I recognize it?
I can't think of a single method you would be able to recognize it from. No.
Do
There
I
is no chance
recognize
of you
it?
succeeding in that role. So,
Do I recognize it?
absolutely not.
Okay.
Cagney says, may I look at it? And takes it and like concentrates on it for a moment. And I have to roll a percentile.
Mm.
Is he using like a power on it?
Yes, he is. He's using the psychic power object read.
Mm.
Unfortunately, he rolled very high. So Cagney grabs at he's a greyhound looking dog boy, by the way, grabs at his temple and says, oh, this has been, I don't know, there's something about this that isn't right mentally. I think it's been protected somehow. I don't know.
Weird. Do we know anyone who could ask about it?
I
I'm
don't know.
sorry. Do we know anyone who could ask about it?
Arkins, you sound a little sick. You all right?
I'm feeling a little under the weather after that road trip there.
Probably something you caught from the scarecrows.
Probably
Allergies.
that, yeah.
Did you eat any of those grapes? Did you eat any of the witch grapes?
Hails. No, I did not eat any of the witch grapes.
I thought about it, but Cagney slapped it out of my hand.
Cagney was smart to do so.
All right, at that point, we're going to pan over into the corner of the room where Hello's inert body is sitting.
Didn't I leave it with the
Oh yeah, you left it with the
Mechanic.
mechanic.
we could say some
Oh, yay!
With
Oh,
Ava.
yeah. I made sure I left you in good.
Yes, that is
Kind
the
of
symbol.
looks like that.
Thank you.
Kinda looks
Oh,
like
nice.
I'm drawing it myself.
And not good.
All right. So we pan over to the mechanic shop with the movie theater. And into there, we zoom in on the pile of parts that is Hello in the corner.
Hello.
Hello. Inside your mind, you're dreaming. You're dreaming of a woman. She is driving to work, and she passes a sign that says, now leaving Ella J, Georgia. She's driving a nice car, something not super fancy. It is a hover car, though. The sun is blue. The sky is... the sun is blue. No, the sky is blue. The sun is bright and shiny. And this highway is in amazing repair. There are other cars on the road. There's music coming over the radio. As you pull into a place called Cole's Crossing, you see a giant fence with 2 military men in front of it. As you pull up, they wave you over. They lean down and go, ma'am. You pull out an ID and show it to them. They nod and wave you through the gate. As you pull in, you see a giant statue, 20 feet tall. The statue has been painted chrome. It is of a metal man with kind of vents up the back and side of his head, a solid piece of a faceplate, and an enormous cannon on one of its arms. This is a chromium guardsman. As you drive, you pull into your designated parking spot. You get out, and getting out and coming down to meet you down a set of stairs is a woman that you are familiar with, named Lindsay. She says, Eve, it's good to see you. You notice on the side of the building, there are 2 parking lots. One says CAN. The other says KLS Corp.
Wait, what were those 2 again?
CAN.
Okay.
And KLS Corp.
Okay.
She says, thank you for talking them into changing the hip placement on the guardsman. It was chafing like hell when they only made it for men. You smile at her. She smiles back. And she says, hey, I hear you're being transferred to Moonbase. You want to switch to Freedom Station? And then she looks up at KLS when she says Freedom Station. She's like, I just don't trust that company. Now you have some control of this woman. You know this woman. What do you think she would say?
You know as well as I do that I'd go where I'm told to go, but if I had the option, I'd stay here with you.
She claps you on the shoulder. She is an extremely beautiful, extremely tall woman who carries herself with an air of a fighter pilot. She says, yeah, well, we all get our orders. You ready for some more training?
Let's do this.
All right, I'll get you up to basic in no time, and you took to the guardsman faster than I thought. We'll see if we can, and it starts to fizzle. We'll see if we can make this project, and it buzzes. And you see a man in the corner wearing a black trench coat. On it are the letters NEMA. And you switch again. The scene switches to a tube. The tube before. You see a different man in a black trench coat, the one you saw before. His name was Steven, you think. He's sitting there messing with some equipment next to you. He's saying things with his mouth, but you can't quite hear him. what do you try to do? You can feel your arm move.
I want to see if I'm like attached to anything. So I would probably just kind of lean forward. Like, am I up?
Yeah, you're a little bit of an angle.
Okay. I'm just going to kind of like lean forward a little bit, like try with gravity, just see if I can move my leg to just kind of off.
There is something holding you in place around your chest and your legs, but you can move from your elbow down.
Okay.
You can feel some kind of cloth covering you.
The whole
from the neck down.
Okay. I want to look down to see if I'm connected to any wires or anything, and also just kind of get a feel. Yeah, just kind of look down and take in the surroundings. Like,
as you look down a little bit, you do notice there are wires going into what is a white gown with tiny blue flowers on it. Some kind of hospital gown looking thing. But as you move your head looking for wires, you feel wires pulling at your head. And as you start to move, the gentleman messing with the computer looks over at you. His eyes go wide and he hits a button. And then you can hear Jover calling.
Hmm?
Jover's calling, hello? Hello? You're in a sea of hazy colors. Things have changed again. You're somewhere weird. If you look down, you can look maybe like a coastline. But you can hear Jover calling you from the west.
can I move anything? Like, am I in control again, or just kind of?
You are currently able to move yourself incredibly fast in any direction you choose.
I want to try and take a deep breath and just put my hand out.
You make those movements, but there is no air here.
Okay.
As you put your hand forward, you can see your hand is slightly glowing in green.
I'm going to go ahead and try. I want to move one step forward, and if that works, kind of go back where I was and just kind of go a little bit in each direction and see if anything changes, depending on where I go. Like if Jover's voice gets louder or...
As you move west, Jover's voice gets louder. The first step takes you all the way to a mountain range. If you take a step north, you're over a river.
Okay.
If you take a step south, you're over some kind of gulf.
Okay. So much to write down. Oh. I'm just gonna look back over my shoulder and then run towards Jover's voice.
You are there in an instant. You can see... where is her name?
I'd also like to call out her name if I can vocally say anything.
You begin and it goes over as Ava Lenora. Yeah, that's what I wrote. Ava Lenora, the techno wizard with the movie theater, just jumps, startled. And she's like, oh my God, you're back. Huh.
Do I remember what just happened?
Yes, you remember everything I've said.
Okay. Is Jover here?
No, they left you here with me for safekeeping. They just figured you'd come back here. I figured you'd come back to your shell. Yeah, I can find them if you want. I can find out where they are and take you to them.
What has happened?
What?
What has happened? while I was not here in my body.
We caught the thief and took their stuff, but they got away. And then there was a magic guy that your friends kind of like beat up, but no one liked him. And he was a tool the one time I met him. So I don't know. And then they left town, but then left you with me, and then they're probably back by now. It's been 1 day, 2, I forget.
Have you made any modifications? And then she kind of just looks down at her body to make sure that everything is still there.
Oh no, I would never do that without your permission. No, I would never. No.
Oh, okay. And she kind of says that, even though she says it like normal, it kind of sounds like there's a hint of like, oh.
Hold on, let me get on my scanner. And she pulls out a communicator and talks to Florentina and finds out where the rest of your group is.
Okay.
And starts walking with you in there. And she's like, so, anything fun?
I traveled far away.
Wow. Huh.
Have you heard of the KLS Corp?
Let me roll a percentile check. She may have.
And I'm going to ask her about the different places like Freedom Station, CAN Corp, just like the main things that I would have seen.
Gotcha. She does not heard of the KLS Corporation.
Okay.
She has heard of Freedom Station.
Okay.
She says Freedom Station launched before the coming of the rifts. She's like, it was a space station. Every now and then I try to find it with my telescope, but there's so much space junk it's hard to tell what's still up there.
Interesting.
Let's see, CAN she's never heard of. And was there anything else? Remembering my notes.
The trench coat people.
Moon-based trench coat people. Nema.
Nema.
That she got an 85. Yeah, she has heard of Nema. She's connected enough to have heard of Nema. Nema. They were the people tell stories about the Nemans, about how they were great heroes during the time of the rifts, the Age of Chaos. I think it's a whole bunch of malarkey when people were like, oh, they were aliens, and people were like, oh no, they were like gods that came and saved us all. And I was like, no, that was the Nanuhi and the other spirit people that saved a good number of us. But yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, every now and then you find some tech with Nema marked on it, and it's always good stuff, but I haven't seen any in like an age. In like 5 years.
There's like baubles and stuff, like little buttons and stuff, like within like thought process kind of stuff. Sounds happening.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
It's a strange walk as she walks you back to the rest of the group. She's like, listen, if you ever need to talk, here's my communicator information.
And she pulls her hand, or is it like digitally giving it to her, or like a piece of paper? Okay. She'll go ahead and take the correspondence and then just ask.
She's like, the range on it kind of sucks. Like outside of 25 miles, you can't get a decent message, but you can.
And you said her name was Eve, right?
My name's Eva.
Eva. Okay, Eva. Eva, I have one last question for you.
Yeah?
At one point, you called me beautiful.
Yeah.
Can you see more than the outside?
Well, you're layered. You're like, I don't know what you are, and that's awesome. And you've got depth that I've never seen a robot with. But I don't know robots too well. And like whoever or whatever built you, I'm amazed by their capabilities. It's beautiful. you're not an integrated unit at all, and it works so well. I can't explain it.
Can you do me a favor?
Sure.
I believe that in my travels, I have found a girl named Lindsay that has to do with the names that I have asked about.
You saw her on her badge was Commander Sterling.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna write that.
Commander Lindsay Sterling.
That's amazing.
And her name, she also had NEMA on her badge.
Has what one?
NEMA.
Oh, okay. For a Commander Lindsay Sterling.
She's like, I'll look it up, but I don't know it off the top of my head.
I believe that at one point we were friends, which is odd because I am only friends with the electronic type. I am curious to know, and I feel as though I would like to see her again.
Cool, I'll look into it. Do you know, like, where? Like,
Was
no?
involved in Nima.
Oh. So Nemo was people. Okay. I'll look into it. I don't know that I'm gonna find much. It's been like a long time since
It is
Nemo.
all right. I have a feeling it will be a while before we speak again. If my party has anything to do with it, we will be kicked out of town.
Yeah. I'm sure that'll make a lot of people relax, hopefully. All right. Well, it's been amazing meeting you. Hello.
You as well, Eva.
Thanks. And she like punches your wavy arm and like walks away. And through the door, you can hear the sound of the others talking about something.
Before she goes in the door, she's just going to take a minute to kind of process. Take a little breath, as much of breath as, like, try and take that breath that she took in the other place.
The goo moves in a similar manner, as though it were taking in a breath, but no breath comes in or out.
Nods and enters.
All right. Hello. Carts themselves.
Are we still covered in
Still covered in what?
blue
You
paint?
froze.
Are we still covered in blue paint?
Oh yeah, you all still have bits of blue paint on
I
your
thought
clothes.
we cleaned ourselves up after we spent the night in the town.
Yeah, you could have, but there'd probably still be some on your clothes.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm just saying, I get what you mean, Jover, but I'm just saying, I saved the day. That's all I'm saying. And I think that if there's money to be had, I should get like a little bit more than everybody else. That's all. That's my piece.
We collected information together. We went there
Yes.
together.
Yes. Yes. And then I saved the day.
Cagney did a lot.
Cagney did a good job.
Yeah,
Cagney did a good job.
Hello's going to go
You did do great.
stand
You
by,
were a great side.
by Jovra.
Oh yeah, Hello comes in the room and Cagney's like, "What's that psychic robot?"
Hey, you're awake.
I do not
That's Hello.
believe that I cannot be awake, but thank you for the sentiment.
All right, whatever. You're booted up. I don't know. I see she didn't put any spider legs on you. Not to talk to her.
That I am pleased about.
Oh, okay.
So does I should get going back and talking to the Baroness who's not happy. So I'll see you. See you around.
Good to meet you.
Take it easy, Cagney.
I was just gonna hug Cagney's leg because she's so tiny anyway. Just like a hug.
Yeah, and Cagney is like 6 feet tall, if I remember correctly. He'll pat you on the back and kind of give you a hug back.
Hello.
Safe travels, and I hope we meet again.
Me as
I
well.
was gonna go over to him too. Kind of tower.
It's like 9 people.
He's gonna tower and look down, waiting for the others to finish their responses.
Okay, well, bye. And Cagney exits the scene left.
Thank you.
Cagney.
So, when do we get paid?
The
From what
payment.
I hear, you have destroyed half the town. I am unsure if payment is required.
We
Is
didn't
not
do
anyone
anything to the
here
town.
paid?
Well, I don't know who told
We-
you that, but we didn't touch the town.
I believe we have made half of the town uncomfortable with our presence.
Well, that is more likely. Yes.
Yeah, that does make sense. That does make sense. They're very squeamish here, I guess. I don't know.
At this point, Florentina comes in and says, hey, and she's walking with Dr. Mickey Niven, the Kate Blanchett-looking scientist who traveled with you.
Yes.
And Malcolm is actually with her as well. Malcolm, the scientist from the other kingdom, the colonies, baronies, colonial baronies.
Smart guy.
Yeah. And she says, well, it looks like they'll be continuing negotiations a little longer, but it's very much going in your favor. And so she's like, we can, Dr. Niven says, we can head back. They'll be sending someone shortly to finalize the contracts.
Fantastic. That's
Thank
excellent
you.
news. Thank
You going out there really helped me sell them on us.
I'm glad we could be
Right.
of assistance.
Well, I'll put in my report. I'll let Sir Tannhauser know.
Could I use? Is there like a persuasion in this game? I can't remember. Is there like a talking?
Not really, no. What are you trying to do?
Okay, I want to get money. So what I'm gonna say is, God damn it! I keep clicking.
I thought that's what you said.
I keep clicking Project Pro on my fucking computer, so it loads up the whole thing in front of my face and it blocks everything. I'm sorry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say to her, nothing for nothing, but we did have to kill a witch and destroy an evil painting that was totally gonna kill your sister, cousin, whatever. So maybe a little bit of monetary reward was called for, just a little bit, just some scratch to get us by, repair our weapons and armor because of I had to throw an entire can of oil at the thing and use a whole can of WD-40. I got some scratches on my vibro claws.
You don't know how favors work, do you?
No, he has no idea. But
I
I,
mean,
thought
now-
I'd let him keep going until he fully embarrassed himself before you explained it to him.
So you would say the whole thing was a favor? Like, I thought the favor was going there and checking on her. I mean, you didn't say anything about killing a crazy grape witch, which is exactly what we did.
We said
Well-
that we would find out what was going on, and if she needed help, we would help her, and that is what we did. That is how favors work, Jericho.
Drover, do you hate money? Do you hate money? Is that why you're doing this?
No, I just know when I have earned money, and this is a case of where we did a favor. This is not a case of where we get money.
Hello's gonna go like right behind Dak and just pat him on the head with her slime.
Thank Is it in my hair? All right, fine.
We
But our
refilled
next
the
job pays. Our next job pays. That's all I'm saying.
I think we're getting paid for this job.
We are getting paid for this job when we get back.
You just said we're not getting paid for the
Oh my
job.
God. We did a thing while doing another thing
So
so
I can
that
see
we could go
you
back
here
and get
in
paid
this.
for the thing.
Oh, you mean the goo?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with getting paid twice. I don't know.
While they're arguing, I was just going to sidle over to Malcolm and start talking to him about the book that she started reading.
Yeah, he was like, I know, like they just start walking and they walk
Forever. What
and it's
is
in
that
the wrong
about?
direction, and they
I
know it's
know.
and then at the end of that book, they turn around and keep walking.
Like, what is it? Why do you think this book is so great? I don't understand.
No, just you need to get to the next book.
Oh, and, okay.
Once Matt gets on the caravan, okay, just trust me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
One more book, and then it really picks up.
Okay.
And he hands you book 6 of Wheel of Time.
All right. I'll start reading. I'll hand him back the one he lent me.
Books are terrible.
Books, right? I think that's what Jared, that's what Arkansas is talking about. Books.
Right.
Anywho,
So is there anything anyone wants to do, or anyone want to talk to someone or discuss anything?
Can I go talk to Ava?
Yeah.
Okay. Because we're leaving town, I think, right?
Yes.
I think.
But did anyone else have something first?
I do not.
Okay. All
Can
right.
we not go see Dumbass Howie? He's in
You don't-
stasis, right?
You don't have to.
No, but can we?
You can see that he's in stasis, and they're like, we're gonna debate what to do with him.
Oh, I just wanted to yell at him, but never mind.
Go talk to him.
I do like
You
that you
can't talk
called
to
him Dumbass Howie, though.
It's his name.
Piece of shit, Howie.
I want to go over to Hello. And do you mind if I touch you first off?
He kind of looks down and then back up. Yes, you may. Seeing that you are the reason I am back.
You heard me.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. When we have more time, I would like to discuss some things with you.
As would I.
All right. So, you curse at Howie's completely still carbonated body. He doesn't respond.
Oh, stasis.
Not Stacy.
Oh,
No.
stasis,
different thing.
that darn thing.
Is that what he's frozen?
Pretty much, effectively.
Okay.
He can't be hurt, but he can't function.
Okay. Can I go talk to Ava?
Yes. Ava's at the shop and / movie theater.
Nice. Nice. Hey.
She crawls out from under a hoverbike and is like, "Oh, hey, what's up?"
Not much. Not much. Actually, we're probably going to be leaving town pretty soon. I wanted to say thank you for looking after Hello. We appreciate it. And is she okay?
I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Because if she shuts down like that in the field, that's a problem.
It could be, yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right. All right.
It's
Well,
not a wiring issue.
all right. Oh, I'm sure we'll figure it out. But hey, listen, I was thinking of would I scratch it together enough credits that maybe I'd upgrade this whole thing? And are you able to do that?
Do you want it to do fireballs?
That is tempting. Can it?
Can you cast magic?
No,
No.
not even close.
Do you do psychics?
Such a temper.
I kill psychics. Yeah, I've done a few psychics.
No, not that. It's not what how much PPE do you have? She says, expecting you to know that.
Well, I guess a little above average.
Oh, God. Cringes.
Yes, no idea what you're talking about. Hey,
I'm going to do something to your character sheet. There we go.
what are you doing on my character sheet?
Where is it? Oh, I didn't write it on your character sheet. Okay.
So where's Waldo? You have to figure out what he's doing.
Oh, no, that's PE.
Yeah. Your PPE is not noted on your character sheet, which is fine because it's not a thing you generally need. She's like, your PPE is probably not that high, but you'd have to train you could be taught to use techno-wizard items.
Oh. You can't just like add a thing onto my arm with your.
You could add all kinds of things to your arm.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
What I was thinking is like
a stake driver, and
that sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Can you make my arm like jackhammer punch the shit out of somebody, or like maybe I could get like a blaster on the back to like make it go really fast?
You mean actually make that smoking junk on your arm do something?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. You fire, and I can get blasted forward a couple feet. And
I've got a bit of a backlog, but I could tell you. I could tell you what the process is called. Hold on, let me.
Sure, I guess. I don't have enough money to do it anyway. My team isn't really money oriented. They're all about doing good deeds.
Oh, how dare they?
I know.
She's like, I think that is called a. As I look up the book. I think it is called.
Is it just like upgrading my arm or something? Or?
Yeah, it adds not shock fangs.
Shock fangs?
Yeah, you heard me. There we go. Oh, and now it's a million pages of stuff I don't care about before the one thing I do. Oh yeah.
Welcome to Riffs.
Yeah, welcome to Riffs. I've been scrolling through pages and pages of arm upgrades, I'm sure.
Russian cyborg.
One arm.
Micro repair robots, bionic weapon systems. There it is. No, where is it? Nope, I lost it.
It's all right. You can get me later.
Yeah, we'll find it later. She gives you the information on roughly what it is. She's like, shoulder turret?
I'm not a predator.
Okay.
You know that.
All right. Well, she gives you the name of a reliable, one of the Moes. She tells you, I've met one of the Moes.
I know the Moes.
Yeah, they're good at what they do, and one of them could probably. Oh, here it is. It's a pneumatic punching jackhammer arm.
Oh, yes.
That would take me about 3 weeks to do. But I've got a backlog of things that I do and I get paid well for. It'll generally run you about 60 credits.
That's it?
I'm sorry, 60,000.
Oh.
I just generally think in thousands because that's pretty much the minimum I work with.
And I get it.
Yeah, like, see that pile of rubble over there? Those scraps?
Yeah.
That's about 4 million in parts.
I'm in the wrong fucking business. All right, well.
Well, get some skills, buddy. You're not bad with your book, but magic.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I don't think I could ever do that. This is sort of what I'm always.
That's why you can never do it. You have limits in your brain. Got to get rid of those.
Brain limits.
Gotta hate them.
I don't got limits in my brain. I'm awesome.
You can be both.
Someday you got to learn to drive above the brain limit.
All right, David, you make me think and stuff. Have a nice day. It was good hanging out with you.
Nice hanging with you.
And I'm going to head out.
All right. So the group packs your stuff, gets ready to get moving. Amadis comes out. They are a paradox shaman with the tribe. And they say, it was wonderful to have you all here. I thank you for helping protect our resources and our private information. And Mr. Harkins, I am again sorry about the time fracture, but I hope you fare well in the future.
It is not your fault. It will be what it will be.
And when the time comes, I hope you have all the tools at your disposal to solve whatever plagues you.
You and me both, my friend.
All right. Be well. And by she, I mean Nikki comes up and says, thank you for your hospitality, but we really should get starting to head back.
That is.
and they escort you over to your vehicles.
Jovra needs to have parting words with Silvio.
Oh, yes, Silvio. Silvio's there to see you go. Yes. Hello.
Yes, she does.
Silvio,
Jovra.
I enjoyed our time together.
I did too. If you're ever in the area, let me know, and if I'm ever anywhere near Castle Refuge, I'll send you a message. Feel no obligation to respond.
Oh, I won't. But it was good to meet you.
It's wonderful meeting you as well. And he just stands there shirtless with the wind blowing his hair, his long dark hair back.
And Jovra turns around and her and Zarzik just walk away.
And
Ella is so proud in this moment.
And
Just so
everyone can
proud.
see him kind of check her ass out.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, like, does she make sure that he can see the goods while she walks? Like, come on.
Like, is there a bit of a sway? Is there a bit of a swagger as she walks?
Yeah.
Jovra does not look back, and neither does Zarzik. Like, no.
Nope. Walk away from the
That was fun, but it's
But
done.
is there at least a swagger to your walk?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
You don't need to look then, you know.
I am laughing, and also is Jack. Awesome. Let's get the hell out of this giant weird city. I need a drink.
I will never understand any of this. And she go ahead and starts the car and go.
All right. I'm sorry, I think you cut out a little. Did you say you will never ever see any of those people again?
Me?
Yeah. What did you say
No.
before you?
She said, I will never understand any of this.
Never understand. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like, I will never see these people again, and just
That's
would
fucking
have been heartbreaking. Yeah.
So
Very
the whole like thing that just happened with Jover and her man friend.
Yes.
It's just no sense to her.
All right. So you begin traveling back. Did anyone want to have any conversations on the route too, or would you like to wait until you get back to?
The whole way out until she can't see anymore, her head is turned around and she's staring at him, like just to see what he does
Sylvia,
as they're driving away. Yeah.
since
just
you can
watch
see a crazy long distance with your basically telescope eye, you are driving away, not looking the direction you're going, but still sensing the direction you're going.
Yeah.
And he stands on the edge, talking to Florentina, and Florentina just like laughs at him, and he's like, and walks. Sunsets in the west. Yeah, walks into the sunset as the long shadow of Sky City and the mesa it's on stretch forward.
There's
Jover,
a weird
breaking heart.
feeling of just pride in her heart of goop at this point. And she'll turn around and look back forward. Needed that closure finish.
While we are driving, we have mics in our ears, right?
Yeah, you got comms.
Hey, Harkins.
Yeah.
That lady that you basically told to shut up and sit down
Yeah.
during the whole rabble. Who is that? Is that important? Is she important?
She leads one of the other baronies.
Okay, I remember you talking about the baronies before. Are we
Yeah.
gonna have like a problem with that? Is she gonna like send hitmen after us? Like, how does that work?
No, I highly doubt she'll send hitmen after us.
Okay.
Should we ever find our way back to the baronies, however, we should probably avoid her specific little kingdom.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I think we should also, after beating up Chucklefuck, I think we should watch ourselves because we caught him, but his partner got away.
That is
So
correct.
we should really be on the lookout for Coalition.
Yeah, I am super more worried about Coalition and whatever entanglements we may find from the woman that we attempted to capture but failed to do so than from the baronies at this point.
I would usually think that she would lay low, but if she was dealing with that guy, I don't know. He's bad news, man.
Yeah. I don't know. We should just keep an eye out best we can moving forward.
Mm-hmm. So just in general, like pretty much, I think Jack would be on sort of high alert now ever since his run-in with that man.
Gotcha.
So I have detect ambush just up. I don't know if that works like that, but he's probably like more than just his usual relaxed self. He's probably fucking scanning the horizon all the time.
Right, give me a roll on that then.
Oh, okie dokie.
When suddenly, no.
Suddenly bears.
Not the best.
30
0
bears.
successes. So you are on high alert. You're on such high alert that you're looking out for like any signs of an ambush.
Probably in the sky, kind of, because we're in sort of open flatlands, right?
Yes. When you come around a blind corner, and you're probably in the lead.
Yeah.
And you run basically right alongside a massive beast called a rhino buffalo.
Oh,
we saw those, didn't we?
No, you saw. Well, you may.
saw Triceratops.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It is mad at you now.
Why? I didn't even do anything.
There are
My
two
bike is
smaller
super-
ones, and your bike is super effing loud.
I'm really glad that I was. Yeah.
Is Iola on my
No,
bike?
she's in the car. I had plans for telling you what she was doing later, but yeah.
Are you
Ah,
eating a
shit.
goldfish?
Am I what?
Seriously, you're gonna put it
Oh,
on?
eating a goldfish? Yeah, of course.
Anyway, it looks like this.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Like whatever, right, guys? Who cares? How big am I compared to that fucking
That
thing?
on a bike?
Yeah, like that.
That's a on a bike.
Okay, cool.
Also, I have a
Awesome.
question.
Yes.
While we were like doing our last goodbyes in the town, could I have restocked the food? Put like granola bars or something?
And Pop-Tarts.
Yeah,
Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts, yeah.
Yes, you get. They don't have Pop-Tarts.
They don't have Pop-Tarts and Riffs?
They don't have Pop-Tarts in that town.
Did they have
All right.
pastries that have fruit in them?
They do have a pastry with fruit.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Let's get that.
Danishes. They have Danishes.
Okay.
I mean, there's still goldfish in
bagels.
juice boxes. I just wanted something a little bit more filling since everybody was laughing at me last time and I didn't know why. So like, well, maybe they need something that has more like calories in it. So something obnoxiously calorie filled.
They do have. It's like a granola bar, but more honey and solid than granola.
Okay.
Nice.
So
Anakin.
I'm trying, guys, to feed people that eat food.
You're picking the best snacks and desserts, so
Yeah, you really are.
on the right track, definitely. Capri Sun and Goldfish, pretty solid combo. Yeah. My childhood served me correctly. So this thing is pissed off at me. Is it charging me?
It does charge you. Give me a piloting check.
Okie dokie. Oh god, if it knocks me off, I'm going like 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I'm
Suck
gonna-
hard.
Hi.
A recycle rocket bike. One success.
Success. You rolled a 42 under 90. All right. So you quickly pull up and out of the way.
Whoa,
It comes into the side of the canyon it's in. And you pull out of the canyon because you can go up and it can't.
Oh, I can get away from it?
Yeah.
Shit. This way, guys. This way.
But your paranoia is starting to get in the way a little. All right. So you all return or anything
Oh,
else?
I was in the car,
That's what I wanted. Yes.
but I was going to sit. There's multiple seats, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm sitting in the front seat with Jovra, but I'm flipping through the book and I keep turning around and asking Malcolm, because I'm assuming Malcolm's with us, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I keep asking Malcolm questions about this book and how I don't understand why he likes it so much. Like the whole trip.
And at some point, he just kind of gets annoyed with the questions. It's like, look, I just like it, okay?
And then she'll just keep with, but this, that. Yeah, it's
It's
the
just like,
whole time.
I don't understand why you hate the magic system. Like,
Because it doesn't make any sense.
rooting for the buffalo.
I want the buffalo to beat me up.
It's like, no magic system makes sense.
We live in a magic system that mostly makes sense.
To you,
Oh, so it doesn't make sense to you.
No,
And then it'll just
I'm
go
a
on.
scientist.
Book club, guys. Book club. The traveling book club.
He's like, yeah, I know some of the themes are extremely sexist and definitely don't hold.
Yeah, I mean, this book is really jerk to women, right? You realize that.
Yeah, and I know.
Like, she's so much cooler than him.
She is, but he
and way more powerful.
Yes, and then they love talking about the taint.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
Every 5
What
lines.
are you guys talking about?
Suddenly.
Yeah, do we hear this over our like?
I would imagine we can hear everything.
Well, everyone in the car so Drover can hear it because we're just talking in the car.
Mickey has gone to channel 4.
She's put on her headphones.
By the way, in the vehicle, you hear "It's the sunshiny day." Like that song's playing.
All right, Malcolm reaches up and just like pulls out the speaker, just snips a wire. He's like,
oh no!
That's a power move, Malcolm.
When he tries to mess with the car, Zarzig is going to be like,
"Okay, sorry, little dragon."
Hi. Yeah, she's not gonna like that.
No, he does. Then he's not going to tempt the dragon.
I'm just gonna. Is Zarzig sitting next to him?
Now I'm sure Zarzig.
Okay,
probably like behind. He's probably in the rear seat.
In Fairy, I'm just like Zarzig, get as close to him as you can get and make him uncomfortable. In Fairy.
And then she'll just be like, "Mer."
Oh, I love their six boy.
Constantly be like, "Mer." That will pet me.
Vaughn push against the face thing.
Okay, I don't want to push you because you have mega damage strength. Okay.
Like the tongue in the ear.
Oh, that could be like a little electric shock too.
And then Jover will realize and tell Zarzig, okay, you've satisfied Iola, like in mine, and then Zarzig will just kind of settle down. But still watch him because it's like you don't mess with our equipment.
How long is this trip?
It is 4 or 5 hours, so you will be back in the night, probably around midnight. You will get back to Castle Refuge.
Okay.
Now, as you pull into Castle Refuge, there are a number of adventuring groups that come and stay outside the walls in little camps. Some of these adventuring groups are allied with Castle Refuge. Other are like just there for trade. Others are stopping at a safe campsite that's well protected, paying a little bit for the, rent, and then moving on as long as they behave.
Thank you, Piglet, for the 500 cheer.
Oh, hey.
I did notice. Good job. Thank you.
All right, so what does that do? I believe I get to choose. Oh, geez.
Oh, yeah. Wu-Tang said you can have the advantage. Or the plus 10%.
Wu-Tang said I can choose.
Oh, you can choose. I think you should choose yourself.
Ooh.
I would choose myself.
But then...
That's because you're mean, Thra.
You should roll a 6-sided die. Is this it? 1, 2...
And I can say... No, I'm kidding.
Roll a 6-sided die, and like the 6 doesn't count. Each of us has a letter. And then let the die decide.
Of course, it's fine.
You could just roll a d5.
Yeah, it's true. I can make it roll a d5.
Or you can just choose, Kevin.
Yeah.
All right.
You're the DM.
It goes to you.
Oh, wow. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. But all right. Thanks.
Right. You're welcome.
Let me add some snark so it chooses me.
I didn't realize that the snark was going to make me have it. I was like, all right.
Snark for the win.
Yeah.
So as you pull into Castle Refuge's outer lot, you see one of the adventuring groups has a glitter boy there and a cyber knight next to it. And hello, as you look at the glitter boy, you realize that that's a chromium guardsman.
That same one?
Yes. No, it is not the same one.
Oh.
But it is exactly the same as a chromium guardsman.
I am going to over the little, not like our loudspeaker, but just in the car. I don't know what the top part is called, like the crow's nest?
It's whatever you want to call it because you're on the roof.
What's the roof?
The turret? There's a gunnery turret.
Okay, I like that term better. Sounds more like I know what I'm talking about. Jovera to the gunnery turret. Jovera to the gunnery turret.
Yes. Yes, hello?
Are you coming up or? Okay.
I mean, we're driving, aren't we?
Yeah, we're driving. I'm driving.
No, wait. Who's driving? Do
Hello
I drive
is
it?
actually driving, I think, because
Yeah.
Hello
Yeah.
connects with the machine by touching it.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
sure. I go up. Jover goes up.
Jovera, can you see that shiny individual over there?
Yes.
That you just said what
It's
it
a
was.
12-foot tall suit of armor with a giant cannon. It's kind of hard to miss.
Is it a statue or a?
No, that one is an actual suit of armor.
Okay. That is called a Cronian guardsman. When I was out and about in the other parts of the world, I have seen him. I believe that we should either be on guard or.
Are you only talking to Iola about this?
Or Jover.
Just Jovera, yeah.
Oh, just to Jover. All right.
I am unsure whether I am okay with him or on edge.
That is part of what I wanted to talk to you about
I have also slowed down our speed.
is your time away. So when we have time to really talk about this, then I think that's what we should do.
Agreed. But until then, the matter at hand, I believe that he is good, but be aware that I have seen him before, or at least one like him.
I will.
And then at that, I'll go ahead over the speaker for everybody and then let them know what I see.
All right.
You found a
how
glitter
do you
Using
boy?
at the lower speed.
Yeah, how do you tell them what you see?
That's a great question. We are now approaching our destination. Although please keep in mind, there is a very, very, very large Chromian guardsman there, either waiting for us or enjoying the town himself.
Are you talking about the glitter boy?
The what?
It's a glitter boy. They're not everywhere, but they're pretty well known.
Interesting.
They have the best guns.
And those who pilot them tend to have a very good reputation.
Yeah.
I've never heard of them called a Chromian Guardsman before. Where did you get that information?
I travel. He gets
Wait.
very quiet and just starts answering in very short sentences.
Like when you suck yourself up in yourself?
Ugh.
I don't know how
That's-
else to put that when you disappear from your...
So you chose suck yourself up into yourself.
I've really just imagined that the gooey bits go into the top bit, and so yes, suck yourself up into yourself. I have no other way to say that. Yeah.
As we know,
Eloquent.
I don't know. Thank you. As a poet, my OCC is poet.
Cowboy poet.
Yeah.
Cowboy poet sucking yourself up into yourself.
Cowboy poetry is a thing.
Good day.
as we know, Hello has various information in her memory banks. So she might have learned it in a unique way.
That is understandable. I was just a new term to me, which I wonder what it's from. That's all.
I just call them glitter boys.
Yeah, that's what everybody calls them. That's what they're called.
Shall I slow down or speed up?
Neither. Drive at a normal pace. I don't think there's anything wrong. It's not unsurprising to see a glitter boy here. Is it? There'd be no reason to be surprised, but yeah.
Oh, absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
I mean, glitter boys tend to be known as heroes,
Yes.
and that is exactly what Castle Refuge is trying to recruit.
Yes. I would not give it another thought. This is not a threat to us unless things have gone very wrong.
Yeah. You want to. None of us want to be the enemy of the glitter boy. That's something to keep in mind. Hello, you don't really want to piss one off, but they shouldn't really attack us unless we're like evil or something, or killing people or whatever. So we should be fine. You're good.
I am not in the habit of, as you say, pissing people off.
No, that is Jack's job. That is his sole remit in life.
I actually like. It sounds like I had recorded that little part of pissing people off, and I say that in.
Okay,
like,
it's
I
on
say
now.
pissing people off in your voice.
I wrote it waiting. I was waiting.
That game is for our visual audience.
Oh.
Oh, I guess it's backwards, right? In my camera?
No,
we're
it
fine.
was right. It was right.
Oh, it
So
was right?
anyway,
Oh.
you pull into Castle Refuge. You unload. Dr. Nivens walks ahead with Malcolm and introduces him to Sir Tannhauser, who comes out looking like he just got out of bed. See, the funny thing about that, you're holding up a sign that says "I'm a stupid," pointing down, and to me, it looks like you're pointing at Kate.
Oh, really? No, I'm definitely.
Because I'm looking at the Zoom on the
Oh,
overlay, you'd be pointing.
But in the layout, he's pointing right at me.
That's
I
so
was gonna
good.
say, in my layout, it's all this way, and you're saying that about me.
I am
You're
definitely
saying
saying that about
but we're-
Jack. I assure you, I am saying that about Jack.
So, Sir Tannhauser is yeah. I gotta remember his voice.
Hey, guys.
Hey, everybody! Welcome back. Good work. From what I hear, you did a pretty good job.
Yes, we did.
So, good work on that. You did piss off the baronies a little bit, and that's not your problem.
She tried to mind control our friend, so that's a thing.
She was a negligent leader. She did not realize that two of her compatriots were not who they said they were. It was
Yeah.
entirely on her. Poor
Uh-huh.
leadership.
Okay. Okay. Listen, I don't deal with them personally, so I haven't been over to Barony's Way in a good long time. All right. So you pay for this one is gonna be 10 with the bonus for 2. For this is including, well, actually it should be a bonus for 4. So 14 total. 10 for the job, 2 for the little heroic jaunts you took.
Well, thank you.
Change your pay.
That's total, right? So we get like a
14
fifth of
total
that. Yeah, okay.
each.
Each,
Oh, each.
Each.
14,000 each. Right. I mean, we were
Yeah.
gone for a long time. We were
Yeah.
on the road to a dangerous place and back again. We killed bugs. We did
On an
negotiation.
Important
Feels like
mission.
we were. Yes. Feels like we are well and truly compensated for our. Other than Jack, of course, who will never have enough money for himself, I would imagine.
You see, Jericho, as we said, there was going to be money.
I mean, I saw an opportunity to make a little more money, but
I mean, if you're gonna go hunting opportunities to make money, you can go down to the Picos and try to catch some bounties. Good
I
luck
have
with
done
that.
I've already done that. This is me trying to do it different, right? I'm trying to listen to Jovra. I was good. I was trying to get money. Everybody was like, "No, Jack, don't get more money. We hate money." I said, "Okay, all right. I guess I got to learn to hate money too."
Yeah, that's exactly how I picture it going down.
That's
Yeah,
the way-
14,000 is totally hating money, Jack.
Yeah, go buy yourself a nice new
16,000.
M20 or something.
New arm.
I have need for nothing. I may invest this in something.
Okay.
I literally have no idea what I would buy with this character other than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's always orphanage funds.
Right.
Yep. So, good work. You got a couple of days downtime. I might have a couple of missions coming up for you. I got one where it's I'm gathering the information on it now from the same guy I got the previous black market information from. About a couple of items that we really would like to see destroyed. So take me like 2 more days to get that information together. But if you're looking for some other kind of jobs, you kind of have you got enough status now. I can let you pick if you've got something you want to look for.
Is anybody interested in just beating up on some coalition? Because if there's something that can get us behind coalition lines, first of all, good tech for those of our friends who like tech. And second of all, we might be able to find some information about whatever the hell it was we figured out while we were out west.
I don't like that idea.
Why?
I wonder if anyone here knows what that symbol is.
I was going to do some research on it, but perhaps, yes, someone does.
Perhaps we should take a moment, recoup, and then get a good night's sleep, some good food, and then decide what we want to do.
All right, I'll keep pursuing this lead I got for you, and take a couple of days. I'll nail everything down, get you the good intel, run it up a flagpole, see if command salutes, and get you going on another retrieval mission. We'll call that one.
That is a lot of turns of phrases. So we'll
I
just wait here until you're ready. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, stand by.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye. And
Thank you.
Heather walks off. A giant 6 foot tall cat. The top of it is like 6 feet tall. It looks like Battle Cat from He-Man, but with 6 legs. Pads along after Tannhauser and catches up next to him, and he like puts his hand on it and starts petting it while the two of them walk.
Big cat.
Petting it in what way?
Friendly, like
Okay.
Don't
like
be
the side of
rude.
it because it's so tall.
I'm not being rude. I'm just curious.
Yeah. It's roughly the size of a bus or a small Volkswagen bus.
All right.
Yeah, it has
So-
kind of a dragon face too. Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, Jover would know. This is called a dragon cat. They are not actually dragons, but they tend to be strongly psionic.
Ooh.
Dragon cat. Ho!
Like a cat.
Not a dragon.
Does Jover say that while the dragon cat goes by? Not a dragon.
Yes.
It flicks its tail in your direction once and then keeps going.
I flick my tail in your general direction.
It does it kind of playfully though, because it knows it can kind of get that you're not a bad person. So yeah.
Unlike Jericho Jack, who is a bad person.
Just selfish.
I believe we need to get some sleep in some separate spaces. Get a little living room.
Separate spaces.
Like-
All right.
Everyone goes in a different one at every end of town.
I'm going to the bar.
Hello is like kind of as we're going, Hello's gonna look at Harkin and tell him, I understand that you do not like the coalition.
I
but
am.
Please
I'm so.
understand that if
You are very
going-
quiet, and I have a hard time hearing what you are saying.
I understand that you do not like the coalition, but please understand, if you go looking for trouble, I may not be of assistance.
The only reason I would like to go after the coalition is due to the information that we found out in our recent mission. And I believe that should we find answers to those questions, it could be very helpful to not only ourselves, but our friends at Sky City as well.
That is a better option than murder hoboing, as I have heard it called.
No, my name is not Jericho Jack. When I kill with a purpose and for a reason. I would like to kill Coalition because they are homicidal maniacs who look to eradicate anyone who isn't a human being. But the excuse to do so provides us with the opportunity to learn something more, is all I'm saying. I would not pee on one while we're on fire, but I also would not go blithely into their territory unless I had good reason.
Both of those options seem completely useless, but understand your opinion and point of view. Your turn of phrase confuses me.
I am very sorry that I would not help a harmed Coalition person. I would let them bleed to death should I find one bleeding on the street. However, should I have the opportunity to be where there is certain information that may be helpful to both us and our friends in Sky City at the same time, I do not think that would be such a bad idea. Was that clear? I hope that was clear.
That was much better than your urination pun.
I mean, I preferred my urination pun, but I thank you for allowing me to clarify my statement in a way that was acceptable to you.
One of these days, you should teach me your countryisms.
I'm from a pretty big city, actually. I'm not from the country. Hope's got like 30 or 40,000 people in it. It's pretty large.
Interesting.
Are you assuming that I talk this way because I'm from the country? That is an unfortunate stereotype, my friend.
For terms of morale, I have but one more question for you.
Yes.
Are you upset with Jericho Jack?
Almost never.
That seems unlikely.
No, most of the time I think you need someone like that in order to shake loose the rust, in order for cooler heads to prevail in the long run.
Are your jabs and such then just for appearances?
No, I do honestly get frustrated with his choice of approach on occasion. However, in the end, if there is someone who's acting like a toddler, and then you can come in and act like an adult, it makes you and everyone else in the group seem much more reasonable. So as long as he keeps acting like a toddler, it allows us to act like adults, and we can probably get our way.
Then I find it helpful to not intervene. Thank you for your clarification.
You are very welcome.
And then she just turns and scoots away.
All right. You all have time. We're going to go to Jericho last. Iola, where are you going?
I want some time with Jovra.
All right.
We all love Jovra.
I don't know if this is when... Did we want to do stuff before we went to sleep? Because I figured when we went back to the room, I would talk to Jovra. So yeah. I'm willing to wait on that if we're going to do things before we sleep.
Timeline, yeah.
You've got a couple of days. So this can happen... I'm not too picky on time order right now. Time
okay.
Linear.
Cool.
There isn't a time mage fucking with you, but these scenes can happen however you need them to.
So at night, one night, Isla will be kind of climb onto Jovra's bed next to her and be kind of lean against her. Are these people going to be okay?
The ones we were with?
Yeah.
They have potential. And I think we should walk with them some more.
Okay.
This isn't like the last group when we were fighting in the war.
That's true, because we'd probably all be dead.
I know. I know we had to step up. They did not like that. In this group, it seems as though we do listen to each other, even to Jack. And the right way becomes apparent, and they do not disregard us. I know that's what happened.
Yeah, and I was just kind of like curl into Jovra if Jovra will let her, and kind of like snuggle with Zarsig a while and just say, I didn't miss fighting, and just kind of sit there in that moment for a while.
And they will sit there.
Zarsig darts under the bed and catches a rat. Or catches a little mouse, plays with it, and then it's up to you if he eats or she eats it or lets it go.
Well, she's probably hungry, so
Fair.
Yep. Okay. Harkins, are you headed anywhere specific?
Specifically, I would like to have a look into that symbol, if at all possible. Perhaps somebody here knows something about it.
Called the smartest man on the grounds. There is Dr. Mortimer J. Alhoun, the medical doctor.
Yeah.
And golden angel friend.
Yeah. He's the fast talker, right? Mortimer J. Alhoun?
No, he is the medical doctor. He does talk quickly, but I think you might be thinking of the gambler.
No, it's the one who kind of existed when we first brought back the guy from Robotech Land. He was the one who talked like this all the time. It was very quick. Yes.
No, that was a quick flex.
Oh, quick flex. That is correct. All right. I would like to go talk to Mortimer J. Alhoun.
He was the one you entrusted the staff with.
Yes.
He's the one with the giant razor-winged, no-faced monster.
Friend.
Right.
Yes.
Friend. Sorry.
It's an
If it
angel.
doesn't have a face and it has blades for wings, I assume it's a monster.
Both of them are Knights of the Round Table.
The what?
The Round Table.
They're not. Yeah.
And you knock on the door of his lab where he is currently patching someone up from fission burns that they suffered in a skirmish not that far away. He's like, oh, yes, do come in.
Oh, hello, Dr. Al. Why am I speaking in this voice now? I don't understand it.
Because that's his voice.
This is clearly not the voice I should be speaking in. No, all right. Well, hello, Dr. Dr. Alhoun. Every time I say Alhoun, whatever, I have a question for you.
Oh, yes?
Actually, I have a battery of questions for you, if you do not mind.
Oh, I do have some time. I'm just... Stitching is so absent-minded sometimes.
Of course.
It's just like looking at you while doing stitches.
I will relate the whole story, leaving out no detail, including the fact that apparently Hello seems to have a different name for Glitter Boys than the rest of everyone else, and see if he has an idea of how all these things link together, because it seems odd to me that at the same time as we would encounter a strange symbol, that our local ecto thingy would also pass out, and that there would be a coalition attack, and the conspiratorial part of my mind seems to think this could all be linked in some way. However, I'm not as smart as a doctor, and so I was hoping he could help me figure it out a bit.
Oh, well, I am a doctor of multiple things, but I don't know exactly. Do you show him the symbol?
I'll literally tell him and show him everything.
Yeah. After the first hour, he dismisses the person that he was healing up.
Right.
Pulls out drinks for the two of you. Calls in his angel friend, whose name just Sir Joseph, or was it Michael? I think it was Joseph.
Oh, I wrote it down somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's Sir Joseph.
Joseph, because I think I called him Joe at one point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Joseph just sits down in a chair with his massive razor blade wings, and makes no impression or expression.
As one does.
Mortimer starts writing things down as you're saying them, in the messiest handwriting you've ever seen.
Sure.
It looks like he's doing some kind of weird loopy letters. It's mostly English, you think? I'm not sure if you've seen cursive. You've probably seen cursive. You grew up around some fancy stuff, so you've seen cursive. It's just not common anymore.
Or am I only programmed to think cursive?
Oh my god. Whoa, do you know Kung Fu?
I do. Is that weird?
Actually, martial arts? Yeah. Okay. He's like, yeah, oh, that is, let's see. Well,
it just seems to be an odd chain of events to me.
I think the most direct thing is a link between the attack on the Cagney,
Yes,
and the Howie, the ley line walker.
yes.
I knew a ley line walker, wonderful fellow. Yes. Well, that does seem to be a very direct connection. Now, the symbol, I don't know that I've ever seen it before. Let me see if I can remember anything I might possibly know about it, and it's extremely rare, so I will have basically a 15% chance. And I rolled an 83, so I don't know. It's very difficult to say
That is
what this
upsetting.
might be. It does. There was a thing called challenge coins that military units would distribute to each other.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, and still do for some. Yes, I don't. I never have it. I never picked up myself. It would be interesting to have that kind of souvenir from places I've been, like Old Bones and Jerusalem.
All right, focus. I need you to focus
sorry.
right now.
Sorry, yes, it's very late at night. Yes. Now your friend disappearing and leaving their robot.
Yes.
I guess it's fascinating, but I don't understand it. That's not how robots work.
Well, allow me to come at this from a different direction.
Yes.
I've spent some time below the Rio Grande, and you know what that means.
Vampires, yes.
Strange things tend to cluster together, and when a connection seems apparent, there's probably a connection.
Well, it's from the way you're saying this, the matter of timing is odd.
I thought so as well.
It could be, but it's not a connection. Maybe it's a stress response of theirs.
Interesting. Do you understand what sort of creature Hello is?
I've been told it's a robot.
I do not believe that Hello is a robot.
I do not believe there's someone who I would be able to practice my services on as a medical physician.
I do believe that is correct.
So I have not put much thought into them. I've seen a number of weird things in my day. A boy who could make forms out of metal. All kinds of monsters and demons and gods. Yes,
Yes,
but I don't know. Nothing like that, no, that I could know.
So none of this strikes you as odd or weirdly connected in any way. That was my primary concern, is that there seem to be a lot of strange things happening all at once.
Well, yes, as such things tend to happen around ley lines and the lives of adventurers. I don't know. The conflux of instances. Was there any other time that they seemed to
retract into the thingy bits?
Like
I don't know what else to call it. Yes, like a pair of very cold testicles. Yes, retract up into the housing above, slurp into the other bit. Yes, I understand.
Well, if they're still in the housing, that should be they would still be present.
But are you saying that they fully disappear?
If they are still in the housing, then the presence would just be more of a I know computers a bit. Rest mode? I don't know.
I see what
Has
you're
there been
saying.
other incidences of this?
Yes, and I explained the other incidents that happened. There's only the one that I can personally recall.
Yeah, there has only been one other time.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think if that. And he's like, was that related to any coalition activity? I don't think it was.
Well, it was at the time that we were stealing.
When you were in the.
It was after we were leaving the theft of the
staff.
The staff. So, I mean, kind of.
But not at the start of it.
No, not at the start. God damn it! No, not at the start of it. No, I'm just eating your
Oh, don't
accent
worry
there.
about
I
it.
apologize about that.
We've been drinking. It happens.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yes, when I went to Scotland, you should have heard me after my fourth Scotch.
Did he end up sounding like me?
No.
That was a joke, by the way.
Okay. I can see the taxonomy of how it might have been. Yes.
All right.
Well, sorry, I do miss those.
Yes.
I would say most definitely the gentleman, and the symbol is confusing to me. It's clearly some kind of military emblem, but
Correct.
The coalition do not have mages.
Yes, that was the thing that struck me as odd as well. Is that
I mean, they haven't had mages since, I don't know, the 80s.
right. But it did strike me as odd that there was some connection here between Leyline Walker and the coalition.
Actually, it might have been the 30s. I forget.
All right, I just need you to focus. The historical context is less important than what's happening in the moment. And I respect your...
You think that, but it sometimes really matters.
I believe you, and I am just... That was the other thing specifically that I was hoping to pick your brain about, was it seemed odd to me that there was some connection here between a Leyline Walker and a member of the coalition, or at least a coalition hit squad. And that seems...
It could be a rogue hit squad. Could be had fooled them into following the information. I mean, counterintelligence tricks are not unknown.
That's true.
Have your enemies attack your enemies and attack them when they're both vulnerable.
That's wise. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, I do thank you for your time. You have given me much to think about, if nothing else.
Oh, do be well. If you need anything, let me know.
I will.
You've given me a puzzle.
I'm glad that I have, and if you happen to come to a solution, do not hesitate to call me.
I'll try to remember.
Thanks.
And he makes a note on his thing.
Okay. All right. I'm out. That was my scene.
Gotcha. All right. Jericho Jack heads to the bar.
Quick time check. It is 9:34.
Gotcha. You know what? What do you want to do at the bar? Anything too much or?
I had nothing planned.
Okay.
I was just going to probably get into some trouble, so it's probably best if we go to a break.
Yeah.
But I don't
All right.
want guys' beer and get
That's
into it.
exactly what I figured.
Yeah.
All right.
And you come back with extra bruises on the way back from break.
It was a good night.
Like a big black eye and like half your lips swollen.
I found another merc.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're going to take a short 5-10 minute break. Feel free to stretch your legs, get up, move around, do your things, whatever you need to do, refresh your water.
And
So
thank
we'll see you
for all
soon.
the chat chatter. You guys are doing amazing. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, there's so much chat chatter. It's beautiful.
Oh, I love our chat.
Yay. Okay. We'll be
All
back
right.
in a minute.
See you soon.
All right. Bye.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Kevin, your DM for this second half of this with the wonderful world where the world has exploded of rifts. So, so far we have had the group had found a symbol, and Cagney, the dog boy, had helped to identify it but couldn't get any information on it. Hello reappeared after having a strange dream of a young girl in a weird time. And let's see, the group talked quite a bit with the various factions at the Acoma, or various people of the Acoma Nation, and just talked with Ava, the techno wizard, a bit, and Jovra made a very sassy statement as she walked away from Silvio.
Jimmy.
It was fierce. Jericho Jack is very tense and on the lookout around every rock for problems, which is not always the best way to actually find the troubles you're looking for. All right. Harkins had a talk with Dr. Mortimer J. Alhoun, who discussed the recent events, seeing some connection between the Leyland Walker and the Coalition as very definite, but not so much with the linking it to the appearance and disappearance of Hello, though it is possible. Trying to think. Let's see. We had some other good conversations. Jericho Jack asked for a bunch of money. Did not get it.
Which is what Jericho Jack does.
Merc.
Oh,
You're
Merc.
welcome.
No, and Harkins and Hello had an interesting conversation as well. As did Jover and Hello promised to have one later. So
And Iola and Jover also had. Everybody wants to talk to Jover today.
True. So we're gonna go to the bar. It's pretty happening tonight. There's a bunch of dwarfs celebrating
Party time.
a whole the group of 10 of the dwarven residents of Castle Refuge. Castle Refuge has a very high instance of dwarves, as they were the ones who literally built the castle and are integral to the defense of the place as well. They are celebrating a dwarven holiday in which a forge master created a hammer so powerful that it cracked every forge it was ever used upon, but left only gold in its wake. And it has a name of... It is basically like those German words that string together forever. This is the golden breaking of the forge by the mighty hammers.
But in German.
But in Dwarvish, which isn't that far from...
It's Spazielengegangen.
Is it really? Because that would be great.
No, but that is the German name for I'm going to go on a little walk, and it just seemed appropriate.
I'm going to go on a little verbal walk, yes.
Yeah, Spazielengegangen.
All right. There's a couple other people there. There's that guy who once threw you across the bar that one time.
Hey.
He hey. Warily eyes you. The dwarves and him are on opposite sides of the bar. They don't seem to be going anywhere near him.
Massive.
And oh my god, what was her name?
The bartender?
No. The bartender's name is...
Bartender's a blast.
Is Celeste? Yes, Celeste is the bartender. Oh, Isa. Isa is there as well.
Which one was Isa?
Isa is the friend of Harkins from Mexico.
Ah, right.
She's a gorgeous Mexican woman who plays mysterious and flirty.
Okay. I am going straight to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
I am sitting down at a bar stool, and I am ordering whiskey.
Okay. Celeste will bring it to you quite easily.
I do not bother Celeste. I just give her the money. I go, thanks. And
she goes, you're learning.
and I just start drinking. And I don't think I get in any fights. I just drink.
Right.
I think he drinks and he just is thinking quietly to himself. I have nothing for this scene. I think he's just. A lot has happened to him.
Him just drinking is something. It says something about his character. All right.
I get no fights, and I steal nothing.
It's so weird. Everyone knows something's off now.
I feel like people would hear.
Well, no, the people in the area don't really know that, but Isa gives you the eye a little bit and goes back to talking to some other people in the bar. All right. So that evening will end. The next day, the sun comes up. It's another beautiful day. A little overcast, but the clouds are your friends here, so no one really gets worried about it. There are some surrounding fields that get rained on, but nowhere else around the field gets rained on. And
Magics.
Magic.
You see a glimpse of gold flying through the clouds, cloud to cloud, as one of the cloud shapers helps seed the food stores for the.
Are those the bird persons?
They are reptilian. Oh, yes. Let me explain some of the crazy things. Not pee in it. They have a cloaca. They just let it all go at once. All right. The Linstrail Cloud Weavers are a bunch of 4-armed reptilian winged humanoids with golden scales that perform cloud magic and are basically knights fighting an endless war against all evil.
Well, wait. Isn't that what the bird people are?
That's what they are. Like they're like eagle reptiles.
Oh.
They don't have feathers. They have scales.
I thought they were eagle people.
They have like eagle faces. There's a lot going on the Linstrail. It's hard to explain them.
Well, but those are what Jack refers to as the bird persons that
Yes.
I met before Birdman.
Yeah.
Okay. He had a name, but I don't remember it. It has been replaced with Birdman.
Yeah.
Iraq.
Sure.
Kyrak.
That was his name.
That was his name.
That's
Thank
fine,
you.
I guess.
So, the place is bustling along. So, who has something they would like to do today? Some people have some things they would like to.
Jover would like to talk to Hello. So she goes to find Hello. Where would Jover find Hello?
You're muted. Hello.
I hit the button.
Buttons.
Guffaw.
She'd probably actually either be in her room. Is the room where they are on a raised platform, like up, like the second or third floor?
It can be. It's kind of like a multi-level barracks.
Okay. Is there a way to get on the roof?
Absolutely. This is an area where there's a ladder to get up there. There's actually an opening in the roof for flyers to come in and out.
Okay. So it may have taken her a while, but she got up on the roof and she just seems to be looking off into the distance. Like if there's a direction where there's like mountains or like pretty much anything she would have seen in the vision, like of the lake or anything like that, just kind of looking off. Seeming to be pondering-ish.
Give me a navigation roll, actually.
Okay. That would be in
That's where I put it.
mathematics. There it is. Found it.
There's my map.
Hey,
What?
one success. A
Yay!
940.
Sorry, I didn't see it. Oh, you got a 9 under 40. That is definitely, when you were floating above the east coast of America.
Okay.
Those mountains were the Allegheny Mountains.
Okay.
That river was the Ohio River. And yeah, I think that was most of the highlights of things explained. The Gulf was the Gulf of Mexico, south
Okay.
of you. Right now, where you are, there's not a ton of mountains close by. There's not really any mountains close by to where you are.
Okay.
Arkansas, from what I understand, is kind of flat.
No.
No?
Nope. The Ozarks.
Oh, the Ozarks. Yeah. Okay. Then you can see the Ozark Mountains roughly from where you are. This is not a topographical map I'm looking at.
All right. Then yeah, I just want to be looking at in that the direction of the.
Yeah.
So Jover goes to the roof. Zarzig is going to be flying around. Hello, do you have some time?
She doesn't do anything and then kind of shivers and looks over as if you would like startled her, like deep in her process. And she just kind of looks over. I can speak with you if you would like.
I don't want to assume I know anything about your nature and having discussions of yourself. If you feel uncomfortable, you just tell me and I will stop questioning. Do you understand?
Yes.
You said you heard me. I called to you telepathically. Do you know what that means?
Telepathically. The ability to speak through one's mind. I heard you quite clearly. Yes.
Remember when we saved those ranchers and I had to call one of them back?
Yes.
Usually spirits pass through everything, but he did not pass through you. I am wondering. I have encountered other robots and other entities as such, and they usually tell me the first memory when they were booted up. Do you have a first memory?
She's going like you can hear the like as she's going through her memory. She looked like it kind of like a glazed over, and I would actually like to make a roll. What do I know of the first?
Of your own brain, or what you believe to be your first memory. So that's a little subjective. Let me look at your sheet real quick. You know you are here. You came here. It felt right coming here. Beyond that,
Do I remember making hello, or do I remember?
you remember finding the parts. That's kind of where your memory starts, is finding the parts in the scraps of a battlefield.
Okay, then I can go with that. I remember in my database that I was finding pieces for this body. And she go ahead and she looks down and then looks back up. They were found in a battlefield, except for some part into which I found shortly before meeting you all.
The substance that we see inside of you, what do you call that?
It is referred to as ectoplasm.
So you built yourself.
Yes.
Do you know why you were on that battlefield?
I had to come here. It felt right.
Do you know how long ago that was?
The thinking, and do I know how much that was?
I don't think it was more than 2 months ago. It wasn't more than 2 months before you met the group.
In my calculations, it could not have been more than 2 months before I met you all.
Where was this battle?
Hey, Kevin.
Just make stuff up.
Oh, okay.
Because you know about it as much about it as I do.
Oh, sure. I didn't know if it was like a specific to the world, or was it out of this world?
Not necessarily. It was in this world.
Okay.
So Newtown isn't that far away and had a big battle a couple of years ago. CS Missouri is constantly fighting. The Pecos Empire is in the South Texas.
Probably the ruins of something already done, so probably the Newtown one.
Yeah, the ruins of Newtown have like a storied history where the Juicer uprising happened, and there was someone promising like a cure for juicers, kind of, that it would perfectly extend their life and they would live forever as juicers. Turns out it was all a big alien murder hoax. And that fooled the coalition. And so the coalition is kind of like denied all knowledge of it. And the town is basically rubble at this point because when juicers get real mad and throw a riot, the town does not survive.
Okay. That sounds about where she would have started. Go ahead. If my map and calculation is correct, it is around Newtown.
Do you know where you go when you shut down like you did in Sky City?
I travel. I travel through colors to find memories.
Have you had any memories?
Yes,
Do you wish to share them with me?
yes.
I will listen to whatever you have to tell me.
Nima. Have you heard of Nima?
You can give me a history check to see if you've heard of Nima. I don't know what other skills you have. Do you have any archaeology or anthropology skills?
Let's see. Anthropology, research.
Where's history? You'd think history they would have given you as a prime skill. Oh, but your history is a little different. Okay, because you're a dimensional traveler.
Yes.
All right, give me an F.
Give me an F.
It's because it wouldn't be archaeology because you haven't engaged in a dig on this topic.
Anthropology?
Anthropology with a -10, so you have to roll under 40.
Okay.
Get a girl, get a girl, get a girl. Yay.
And your roll is success. You got a 37. Ooh. You've heard of people discussing the Nemans or NEMA. NEMA was the name of a group during the Age of Chaos that was extremely powerful. They had the best tech, and every story about them was them saving at least a village. Some say that they are the reason humanity survived at all. So they're spoken of in terms of angels sent from Nema. And you've seen the game of telephone that happens where these incidents get turned into myths. There was definitely something called Nema. in the past. It was instrumental in the survival of humanity. It was revered by the common people who saw it. And you have heard a whisper or two of other dimensional forces fearing it. Not dimensional forces, but creatures of magic on Earth might fear it a little. You might have heard about one of them fearing it, but it was a very old thing by the time you heard about that.
In my travels, hello, I hope, sometimes when stories pass from person to person, generation to generation, when it comes to Nima, they seem to be saviors of humanity. They're revered. Some call them angels, but basically helped save during the age of chaos. Powerful, but considered overall good.
That is a relief. And
How do you know Nima?
I believe they were my friends.
Do you know how long ago they would have been your friend?
Quite some time. I believe a commander named Lindsay Sterling was a best friend until I was transferred to a freedom station. But I'm unsure of this as it was only recently that I have traveled there and I do not know much myself. I am confused.
You are not just a machine. Hello. Uh, You definitely have perhaps psionic capabilities, spiritual capabilities, but you are not just a machine. You-
Do you believe, Dobra, that I could be a hero?
Of course.
We shall see.
Hello. When you leave, do because we see your ectoplasm go, or does it just move into another part of the unit, or does all of it go?
Kevin, when I looked at my hand, did it look like the ectoplasm or did it look like?
Yes, when you looked at your hand and it glowed with a light greenness, that seemed to be a very, very solid form of the ectoplasm. Though you have no idea if anything's left behind when you go because you're not there.
As far as I can tell, it comes with me. I do not understand it myself, but I believe that in another plane, I am being held captive. I must find myself to free me. But until then, I will continue to help you all as best I can.
You're traveling through the astral plane?
Does it look like a colorful road to many, many, many places?
I don't know for certain, but I've heard it being described as such.
Then I would assume, with all the information gathered, that yes, that is what I am doing when I am out of this shell.
Where do you think you are? You are here, but where do you think your other self is?
A laboratory. I am under observation. From what I can gather, every time I go back, there is someone else there. I believe 24/7 supervision is required for my other body.
And is there just a slim chance you know where that could be?
What role would I make for that?
There's not really a role for that.
Okay.
It's hard to tell because everything moves so quickly in the
Mhm.
astral plane. You're not sure it's direct, like out of one place into another.
Do I know what direction? Because I did the direction walking thing.
You started near the East Coast.
All I know is that I was around the East Coast when I realized I was walking on colors. There is a possibility if this is a plane walker ability that I was on a different plane of existence and directions are invalid.
That is true.
Silvera,
Yes.
I am feeling something that I do not know the name of.
Can you describe it?
I see it on the faces of those going into a battle or something they are unwilling to do, is the best way to describe what I feel.
Are you afraid?
Yes,
And I think there is where we're going to cut and come over to Iola, who is what are you doing? You're muted, by the way.
Sorry, it happens. I'm gonna head to the gym
Okay.
and go see if Lord, I can never say his name right.
Koake, Lord Koake.
Okay.
And for the diehards, I know I'm saying it wrong, but I've refused to call him Lord Coke. 'Cause we're not getting a corporate sponsorship, so it's Koake.
Okay.
All right. So he is actually, well, it's in the early morning. Yeah, he'll be getting there when you have been there for a little bit. And it was, oh, Iola, you're looking well.
Yeah, check out what I could do. And I'm just gonna show him what I've been working on.
He just like claps for you, not in a sarcastic way, like in a like good work. That's amazing. Good job.
Okay, what next?
Well, what do you mean? What next? And you see another man walk in behind him, who is also wearing gym shorts and a solid metal chest plate with verses from the Bible etched into it. And he's like, "Sir," and he's like, "I'm sorry, I'll be right with you, Mr. Bowes, or trainee Bowes." He's like, "I'm not a trainee anymore, sir." He's like, "Yes, Dwayne, I know. I'm sorry, it just slipped my mind. May I introduce you to one of my fellow knights, actually. This is Dwayne Bowes." And Dwayne Bowes is a muscular 5'9", just about average height, tan skin, black hair, kind of up in kind of a pompadour look. Has scars all on his left side, is all scarred up from what looks to be claw marks, but none of his armor is scarred at all.
Okay. So pristine armor.
Yes. Not armor, because he's just wearing the chest plate.
Oh, the chest plate, but okay.
It's a Cyber Knight chest plate.
Oh, okay. All right. Hi, I'm Iola.
He shakes your hand. Ma'am.
Oh, whenever Iola meets people, if she's shorter than them, she floats to their level.
He
So that
shakes
she-
your hand and nods at you and goes, "Ma'am." A very respectful ma'am. He's not like trying to look down on you. He just seems like one of those super self-serious people. He's like, "Sir Bowes, start with the laps and I'll be joining you in a little bit. I'm talking with my compatriot here." "Sir," and he goes off running. He's like, "Well, you've been doing great work. I don't know what... You have found your own path, so Cyber Knight training is not an option for you. I'm sorry."
I didn't think I was big enough to be a Cyber Knight.
Size actually has very little to do with it. There is one of us who is 14 feet tall, who is a Rahu man, whose name escapes me at the moment. And that is very bad as the Lord Commander of the Cyber Knights. And there are also those of us who are not much taller than you, but size... There's the old saying, it's not the size of the dog, it's the size of the fight in the dog. The dog in the fight. And yes, Darren Tarn said it to me a couple of times, and it's not the size.
Size matters not.
Not the size.
Yoda
Dog in the
was-
fight.
yeah,
It's the size of the fight in the dog. Yes.
Yeah, it's not the size that matters. Yeah, I've heard that a lot. And she's not being flippant about it. She's being honest. Like, yeah, I've heard that a lot. Okay, well, if you just had any pointers or anything, that'd be great. I wasn't expecting to, train to be a Cyber Knight, but you're really cool and you do cool things, and so I don't know.
Thank you, because a lot of times people come to me because I am known as the Lord Cyber Knight. I helped invent the practice, and a lot of people come to me expecting exactly that. But it's nice to train with someone who doesn't have only gaining prestige as he looks at Sir Bowes, gaining reputation and prestige among the Cyber Knights as their lead goal.
And I will just lean in and go, I kind of like to stay under the radar, if you know what I mean.
Yes, as a Cyber Knight, we appreciate stealth, but it's not always our easiest maneuver, where some of us are so dedicated to the cause.
Yes, dedicated, of course.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I'll just work out over here.
Do you even have to run?
Do I? I don't know.
I mean, it could help your endurance and speed if you're not already a bit of a runner, but...
I'm just not very strong.
Oh, that we can definitely work on. And he starts showing you how to use the weights and the things. So next time you get to pick skills, you might want to look at general athletics or bodybuilding, as he will assist you
Bodybuilding.
in these things.
Yes. Okay, cool.
And he's like, how are you at fisticuffs?
At
Straight up just
boxing?
punching. Yeah. Do you know how to box?
No.
It's also a good way to build your strength. Would you care to learn?
Yeah.
This will take some time, and it will take some pain.
And I was like, yeah. Will it help me defend people and myself better?
It definitely will.
Then yeah.
All right. Well, Sir Bowles, 20 more and then join us in the ring. Yes, sir. And he shows you over to the boxing ring and starts sparring with you.
And then in this conversation, I just want to bring up, like, ask him if he'd ever heard of someone named the Chromium Guardians, right?
The Chromium Guardians, I think there was a mercenary organization by that name that were all glitter boys.
Okay. And then
This was a long time ago. I'm older than I look.
It's just like as if I'm having a conversation with him. Oh, did you know that? And like putting it in like that, not trying to.
Yeah, you were like, oh, I heard about this thing called a Chromium.
And then, the worm monsters. I want to tell him about the worm monsters.
You mean the worms that dressed in the
in clothing.
So for those that weren't with us,
creepy weirdos
at the time, they confronted beings that were basically worms stacked up in the shape of a man, wearing a trench coat and a hat, carrying pistols, and sometimes major laser weapons and railguns. He's like, let me roll for him, to be honest. His demon monster is quite high. 45. So yes, he's like, I believe they're called worm wraiths. They're a collection of some kind of intelligence. We're not sure what the guiding intelligence behind them is. It could be an alien intelligence. It could be some kind of miniature hive mind. We're not quite sure. Though I do know if you don't exterminate them thoroughly, they may return.
Great.
I think it only takes like 3 or 4 of them.
Great.
They travel in groups, and when they travel in big enough groups, they leave entire towns in their wake. They take only armor and weapons and ammunition. Leave everything else behind. They have no need for anything else.
And a group is how big?
Reports have said 4, reports have said 3, but to take on a town, one report was 20.
Oh, fuck that.
Shit.
Nuke it from space. Are you?
And there were 5 that we saw?
You may have seen 6.
Because we saw 2 in the theater and then 3 out front, right? Or were there 3 in the theater and 3 out front?
There might have been one you didn't see.
There was 3 out.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to remember the map.
I'm pretty sure I destroyed one while I was telling you that they were there, and then there were 3 when everybody came out.
And it took a
there were 2 in the theater, so that's 6.
Yeah,
so I'm going to
6
tell
sounds
him
right.
about the encounter, and I'm going to tell him that there were 6 of them.
It's like, oh, and you survived. Good work.
We ran away.
You say they kind of like forced you into that building?
Yeah.
Or lured you there? We hadn't. I'll put that in the messages about them. We knew they had intelligence. We hadn't heard of them setting an ambush like that, but my guess is if they're not used to people getting out of those ambushes.
Well, and if they're working with the lizard things, whatever they're called, I don't remember what they're
The Grick Leapers are not smart enough to work. They were probably just saw the opportunity. Oh, that's even scarier if the worm wraiths saw an opportunity. Huh. Consciousness is weird.
Yeah. Let's hit some shit.
Yeah.
And that's where.
Speaking of which, Zerbos. All right. And we'll cut from there.
Could I be in the gym just like working out in the background?
Yes, you could be on the... No, now here's the thing. You are also interested in boxing.
Yeah, I have boxing. He's more, he likes to do pit fights, but he would definitely take the opportunity. Do I see them boxing if I walk in the gym now?
Absolutely. People start kind of like watching Sir Sir Koake wherever he goes. Like, if he's doing something of interest, a crowd is probably going to form.
Okay. I'm probably not interested in the crowd, but I probably came into because I wanted to work off some
energy,
stress, and so I probably don't have my metal arm on
mm-hmm.
because there's no point in me doing a bench press with a metal arm because it'll just bench press a truck. So I took that off and left it like in my bike or something.
In the lockers. There are lockers that are secure.
Sure, I left my big metal arm in a locker. I like it next to my hat and my shoes. I left my big metal arm in there, so I'm one-armed. I go over and I'm eyeing up some of the machines to like work out. And then do I see that Iola's in the ring?
It takes a moment, but you do see that Iola is in the ring and he's like telling her, Sir Bowes is holding up the pads and he's giving her pointers on how to properly throw a punch. And at one point he says something to Sir Bowes as Iola's throwing a punch and she catches him square in the jaw.
Nice.
And he rolls with it very well and then goes back to like patting her. And he looks like he is wearing his shirtlessness. He has cyber armor on him. His isn't as showy as an engraved breastplate, but he is also wearing like the tiniest gym shorts.
Like runners gym shorts?
Yep.
Like high school runners gym shorts? I'm probably in like shorts and then just like a tank top shirt.
Yeah.
But over where my metal arm, probably there's like a thing that connects what the rest of the arm connects to.
Yeah, there is a socket.
Yeah,
you've got a little bit of arm, not a
lot, and it's just like ripped, terrible, like scarring all up, kind of into the chest and into the neck a little bit. Not so much the neck, but into like the chest and the ribs. But yeah, I get next.
He's like, oh, come on up.
All right.
And he will like if you're okay with training,
yeah.
He doesn't seem to question your ability to fight at all.
Really? With one arm?
Yes, because he has seen people do amazing things and has learned to literally never underestimate someone.
I like that.
So he will start like doing a little bit of light boxing with you. He's like, okay, we're just going to keep it friendly. He is very fast. He is very good. And you can tell he's holding back.
Who is this that I'm with?
Lord Koake is like sparring with you.
Cyber Knight.
Yes.
Damn.
And he compliments your form a couple of times. He's like, you've had training. Good work.
Thanks. So did you.
Your footwork is amazing and your balance is impeccable.
Yeah, I got to learn to get a little quicker when I only got one throwing arm.
Yes.
You adapt.
Yeah, you do occasionally land a blow. Like, it's not... And he is extremely tough, but he's...
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah. So, it's a good sparring session. And I would say that Iola learns a good bit from watching both of you.
Oh, yeah, she's sitting on the... Is there, like, a boxing ring that we're in?
Yeah.
Or, yeah,
so
she's
at some point, you and Sir Bowes stop, like, sparring and just watch them.
Mm-hmm. And she'll, like, sit up on the rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, now if I could. And he's like, every now and then he's like, oh, my instincts are always to throw you.
Oh, same. I was just about to say the same thing. Boxing, excellent, but at the same time, it doesn't engulf all that is combat.
Well, yes, it's a good trainer, but it is a poor simulation.
I see it as a good way to sharpen specific skills, but not the overall weapon.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Nothing prepares you for when the terror hits.
Absolutely not. Cool.
And yeah, he's just like loves to be fighting with people because he feels it's much better use of his time than
you learn something new.
Paperwork.
Everybody fight, you learn something completely new.
Yeah.
Cool.
Every now and then when you get like more than 3 hits on him in a row, he starts to like clench his fist a little and like a little blue spark comes and he'll just dismiss it immediately because he's starting to get a little annoyed with himself. And then he's just like, nope, can't summon a Psy sword at you.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. So
when you're done sparring, Isla's gonna go to you and go, hey, that was super cool.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
when we're not here, you want to practice with me, or even when we're here, that'd be awesome. And she's like super excited about it.
You want to learn how to fight with your fist?
Yeah.
Why? You can shoot fire and shit.
Because sometimes I run out.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like an ever-flowing fountain of magic.
No, shit. Well, I'll tell you what. You want to learn some real shit? I'll teach you some real shit. Stuff that's alive in the field.
Sounds great.
Like he was saying, but it's not the same.
She'll take whatever kind of training she can get. She's all about survival.
Cool.
Gotcha.
If we ever have training sessions, I want to teach her. Maybe we should talk about what I'm able to teach her when it comes to fist fighting and combat tactics and stuff.
There's a lot of stuff about that we can handle out of game.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, let's talk about that later.
Spend skills to change. Yeah, no, okay.
Yeah.
So, Harkins, did you want to actually hit the library area as well?
I mean, I guess I could. I don't really have any skills relevant to researching on my own, though.
Okay. Let's see who the librarian is.
I know Jovra would like to hit the library as well because of everything that's been happening. And she's going to be getting out her journals and start making notes.
Yeah, over the time of our conversation, I would have told you everything that had happened. And so just so you know, I wouldn't have left that out.
Okay.
It would have taken a while for her to find the words to figure out how it is. But yeah.
You told her all about the dream and whatnot?
Yeah. Yeah. And even like when I was in the
tube,
the colorful road, like how I walked from different sides and was in completely different places.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like the astral. I'm trying to think now. Jovra doesn't have a lot of American history. It's a real, like, as someone who's traveled dimensions, it's not, this is just another place to you.
Right. So she's going to be applying what she learned from her grandfather, collecting information, doing research.
All right. Then I'll say, Jovra, when you show up, you're a little surprised to find Harkins there, and Harkins is talking to the librarian. A woman with big round glasses, extremely thin, and Jovra roll. I'm trying to think. Do you have dimensional skills? There's something about that woman that is dimensional, but she seems very normal and human. Is Wild Bill is there?
Yeah, of course.
Wild Bill is your shark puppy who is chewing on the leg of a mega damage table, sharpening his teeth.
Do you want me to give you a dimension sense or a lore? I have lore dimensions.
Give me a lore demon and monster. Add 10% for your dimensional stuff. There we go. You rolled an 18 out of a potential 60. So you can tell that this, let's say, woman is a creature of magic. And if you had to guess, the way that the woman is asking questions in a very pointed manner is something you experienced once when you confronted a sphinx. Yes.
I do not know the answer to that. That is an awfully pointed question.
I'm sorry, what were you looking for again?
I want to know what this is.
Chemically, metaphysically...
I would like to know what the symbol represents in this reality, on this continent.
Chemically, metaphysically.
Well, the triangle down and the triangle up often represent a significant source of power. The circle is often a symbol of magic overlaying the two. The fact that someone has turned that symbol into an emblem means
a coin, to be specific.
There are coins. Okay, so coin might mean a number of different objects. What's the metal content?
It is a challenge coin. Do you understand the concept of challenge coins?
Military history, you see like the eyes roll in weird directions. Yes, it's a thing people used to do to. Yes, I understand John's coins.
All right.
So, this emblem, a symbol of magic power, kind of converted into this weird symbol, but the downward-facing triangle being non-connected to shape. Maybe the letter V. Maybe an arrowhead. It is not a symbol I've seen before or in the archive.
It is not in the archive.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much for your time. I'm obliged that you were able to help me have a look. And I turn around to see Jovra. Oh. Hello.
Hello, Harkins.
How you doing?
I have a lot of information in my mind that I am trying to sort out. So I thought I would come here.
I know that feeling. The librarian's going to ask you a whole battery of questions that have literally nothing at all to do with what you're looking for.
Oh, that's what Sphinxes do.
I'm sorry, a what now?
Sphinx.
I'm not really familiar with that term. It looks like a lady with large glasses to me. What's a sphinx?
So is it what I know of in this world, what a sphinx is, or is it?
It is very similar to what we all think of as a sphinx. There are subclasses of sphinxes, but this one looks to be the generic standard mythological inspired, the one that inspired the myths. Sphinx shaped that has chosen to look like a standard librarian, to look exactly like Marion the librarian from the Music Man, exactly including the dresses.
I have not seen that movie, in reality or in game.
It's fun.
All right.
It's one of my favorites.
But this Sphinx found that amusing to itself, so it did it.
Oh, she meant no. That's how they are. Wanting to get exact questions and exact answers. That is their nature. She didn't intentionally mean to frustrate you.
Well, that's good to know, because I was then intentionally frustrated. Do you need any help with anything? Is there anything I can be of service with?
I am unfamiliar with American history.
I do know I have some context, but I'm not learned. What are you looking for?
What are you looking for?
Okay, so hello. When we had the conversation, Jover would have said I would keep everything to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Would Hello be expecting that of her?
Hello knows that you would 100% try to get to the bottom of something, and if you would try and be discreet as possible, but she also understands that if you think it would be in the party's best interest, that you may read between the lines. Like, she knows that you would go and find what you could, but be as respectful as you could with the feelings aspect of it. Like, the information she knows will probably get out. If that makes sense.
I fought in the Tolkien War. I'm familiar with them, but I'm unfamiliar with perhaps why Hello called it a Crony Guardsman. You see it Hello, and it was a glitter boy. I'm wondering how other battles that would have happened perhaps in the past decade or so.
Countless, endless battles. This is a war-torn continent. Skirmishes, large-scale engagements.
What can you tell me about Juicers and Newtown?
You mean most everyone knows the Juicer Uprising, right? That's common enough knowledge. Yeah. So, yeah. a number of juicers in coalition territory decided to attempt to make their own state. Did not succeed in the end, if I recall correctly.
They did not make their own state, but they did form the Juicer Army of Liberation, led by Julian the First, who is 10, has been a juicer for a decade, which is
a very long time.
Like unheard of. And is still active. Julian the First also led the Juicer Army of Liberation into the Tolkien War as the refugees at the end of the war were fleeing, and the coalition was pushing past Tolkien straight into refugees. Julian and his army helped create a line between the refugees and the coalition for the refugees to escape.
I explain all of this to you.
The coalition is not known for using glitter boys, or
no, not at all.
Well,
the
librarian goes, the coalition is not but New Quebec,
yes.
Free Quebec, formerly part of the coalition. What is the world's leading manufacturer of new glitter boys, and has created several variations, and recently declared themselves independent from the coalition states at before the Sorcerer's Revenge, towards the midpoint of the war.
Yeah, but the coalition itself doesn't use any.
No, and Free Quebec would not give them any, and it made the coalition really mad.
Yeah.
Ask the librarian if she knows if the Cronian Guardsman is an earlier version of the Glitter Boy, because I understand technology advances, so I'm sure the Glitter Boy was not the first.
Holds up a hand and a book appears in it. And it is a tattered, burnt around the edges. So like a quarter of the book is, the top quarter of the book is missing. And it's the, what are they called? The book of diagrams and documents.
Oh, like a Kelly Blue Book?
No, well, the Kelly Blue Book is priced. There's like a specific term for the book of every part diagrammed out.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I don't remember
yeah,
what it's called.
It is a complete diagram of the Chromium Guardsman for marked top secret. It is labeled top secret, magic, Alpha 1, priority clearance. And she says, a Hayes manual. That's it. Thank you, Kate. A Hayes manual for the Chromium Guardsman. It is, and she says, it says magic, but that was just what they used to call very top secret things. There's no actual magic in here. The person who had it was very unhappy, but didn't know what they had and sold it to us at quite a discount.
What is your policy? What is your policy of research? Am I allowed to check out a book, or must I read it in here?
Not this one. Many of them we have several copies of. This is a unique artifact that I will allow you to handle as long as you do it with respect and dignity, and do not harm or try to steal it. It is... You have been entrusted as members of the Iron Riders, a thing that no one mentioned to her, that you've been entrusted with a certain level of clearance where I will allow you to see this, yes.
So she will sit down in the library and just start reading about that. She's going to frame everything in wanting to know the technological timeline of, like what Hello called the Glitter Boy into that. That's how she's going to frame her research to Harkins and the librarian and such.
All right. So the way you're getting it with the Hayes manuals has no history of it. Has a couple of the designers' names on it. Says the KLS Corporation, which is something that Hello also mentioned. I'm trying to think of what else it would mention. There's not really a timeline. The book was published in, this is, let's say, Mark II, which would be 20, was published in 2095.
Does it have any like? So I would make note of the designers' names. Is there any sort of like manufactured here or parts made there?
It doesn't list locations for it. In fact, it does list a couple of locations, but they are thoroughly blacked out by censoring pre-printing. So it's not like the words are under there. It is just simply manufactured in secret location.
So, because she got the KLS Corp from her historical research, she's then going to start looking that type of stuff up and asking the Sphinx if.
Do you have you've got the skill research, right?
Yes.
So roll me a research roll. You will get a plus 10% on it for Sphinx help. And Harkin's help. I'm going to make it a 15 for Harkin's help. Oh, so you naturally have a 65. You rolled a 64. And with the extra 15, I'll give you a little more. So the KLS Corporation was a KLS Aerospace Corporation and Defense Technologies. You find there have been a number of recovered microfiches of news reports starting as early as 2075 about the corporation, and that they are a corporation focused solely on profits, that they produced the Chromium Guardsmen as a breakthrough and then started selling them to the Northern Eagle Military Alliance as it formed. The Northern Eagle Military Alliance.
Okay.
And that microfiche ends there. And you see a couple things. Protesters line a building in Atlanta, a NEMA building in Atlanta to protest the sale of Chromium Guardsmen 2, and then that piece of information is lost from out of there. There is a picture of a building. It says Atlanta, Georgia. And that's pretty much all they have. The KLS Corporation, there's also the announcing of a brand new breakthrough in technology that will place a permanent station in the Asimov belt called Freedom Station. It is a Asimov belt.
Okay.
This is written in a scientific, popular science journal. It's written in Popular Science. And the Asimov belt you find through other research is just simply the exact distance a thing has to be to orbit the world without succumbing to the gravity, as theorized by Isaac Asimov. Which allows for all satellite technology. So they put a space station up there. It was a long-term facility, and that's pretty much all you're getting. That was quite a bit of quite obscure information too.
Do the designer's name, do they
They don't seem to connect to anything.
Okay.
And don't seem to have too much of a bearing. Though it does state that this was based on an older design dating back to 2070-ish. and the wars. You see an article about the wars of the North American wars.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, there's a lot of processing in my brain right now. So that's a lot of super obscure facts that this is the exact place that has been trying to gather that information. The only other place that would have that amount of information about this is in Chicago, and it's right next to an incinerator. So that takes you basically an entire day of research, even with the Sphinx's help. All right.
I'm just gonna stick around and help for all that,
Yeah.
unless Jover kicks me out, because now I'm just being nosy.
No, she would appreciate the help. As long as Harkins is genuine about it.
But I don't have nothing to be not genuine about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jover, you also know Sphinxes are very good at detecting evil intention. And if they had felt that what you were doing was for an evil purpose, would not have let you near the information. So that's also a thing to note, I think, that she let both of you near the information. That neither of you had evil intent in this situation. Unless you secretly did, in which case let me know.
No.
I didn't think you did, but
Does Harkins have any secret evil agenda?
I may somewhere deep in the buried memory of my brain that I don't remember, but
not that he knows of.
But not that I know of, no.
Yeah.
You get kicked out. What is this? You have evil intent. Where?
You guys have got to stop letting me just have your pasts.
I love it. I don't know.
I do.
I think it's great.
It is.
I have no idea what's going on, and I love this.
Okay, so it is 10:51. With these less than shocking revelations, I don't have a good cliffhanger for you right now. So I think we're just gonna end on a nice, solid, successful montage of Jovra and Harkins researching in the library, Iola and Jericho Jack sparring in the boxing ring, and Hello, just on the roof, looking wistfully towards the east.
He's having an existential crisis.
I really am. Who am I? If she could cry right now, there may possibly be one tear. Like a
salty.
Single ectoplasmic tear.
Yeah, I was about to say salty ectoplasmic tears. Yeah.
Yeah, she's just like looking at her hand and then off into the sunset. And then
Earlier today, Maxine asked me, "Is the flashback going to change Hello at all?" And I was like, "It's not going to change the character sheet."
Ooh.
So,
I was like, do I have to worry about like my character not looking the same or being the same?
Looking, but being
two very different things.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining us for this soul-searching, deep history mining episode of Riffs, Blood,
info.
Dirt, Chrome, and apparently tears. So everyone, we're gonna go around and say one thing we like or one thing that someone else did that was awesome. Actually, to be honest, I think we all just did awesome things all night. So, but yeah, so we're gonna go around, tell us where you can be found, who you are, and we are going to start with Jovra.
Hi, I'm Michelle Ely. You can find me on Twitter at Michelle Ely. I'm also in the Discord. Welcome to the Party has a wonderful Discord full of comfy couches, cocoa, and blankets. So please, join us there.
And hugs.
Yeah, and lots of hugs. You can find me here every Tuesday with these great people. I do 2 podcasts for the GonaGeek.com network. That's Starlight Tribune and Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. And just for awesomeness, Hello's reaction as Kevin is telling her what she was dreaming and such I thought that was amazing.
Thanks. That makes me feel good inside.
You should. You're freaking amazing.
I try to be. Thank you. Iola, before I start getting red.
Hi, I'm Kate. I go by Mia Madera on the Twitters. I'm here with these lovely people on Tuesday nights. On Friday nights, I'm here for our Dragon Dark Days D&D Tomb of Annihilation campaign, and that is at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Finally remembering the times. And then Sunday nights, I am the DM of our All Femme and NB's Fantasy Age game, Emissaries of Vithna, at midnight. I'm part of the Discord. I'm part of the Writers Project. Just come check us out all over the place. And thank you for giving me someone so pure and wholesome to be kind to. Lord, I can never say his name.
Coake.
I just want to say it's Coaka, and I know that's not correct, and so it's like messing with my brain. Coake. But he's like in charge of this whole thing, but he's also like a really chill, cool person.
He's trying his best to be the best.
Yeah, I like him.
In every way. All right. Up next is Hello.
Hello. My name is That Girl at That Place or Maxine Bachman. You can find me pretty much anywhere and everywhere under That Girl at That Place, except for Instagram, where I'm Lady Skyburn. I am on here every Tuesday and every other Sunday, which I believe not this coming Sunday, but the next Sunday, I'll be playing Tomb of Annihilation on the Thread Raiders channel. I'm very excited to get back into there because, as you guys know, I was away at Gen Con, which I did want to make a shout out. I met some people there that recognized me from this show and the Thread Raiders show. So thank you guys. You know who you are. There was a lot of faces. I am just super thrilled that I got to actually meet some of you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you. But yeah, you can see me at all the places, and I hope you do. Yeah.
All right. All right, Throck.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Sean, also known as Throck, and I was first appreciative that tonight was a low-key lore night because I'm kind of low-key sick, and so it was pretty great to chill out and just have some conversations. I loved all the stuff with Hello the most, and learning more about Hello was pretty great. So that was the part I liked the best. What do I do? Things. So you can find me here, of course. You can find me Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. with Evan and Kevin playing in our Blades in the Dark game, which is amazing, and you should check it out. Then on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, we do our Friday night D&D game that Kate over there, me and Midair, is in with me, and we're currently finishing up. I think we're probably 3 or 4 sessions away from the end of the Tomb of Annihilation, and then we're going to be playing a big old pirate game, and it's going to be a big old pirate game, and it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of D&D pirates with like some homebrew shippy rules and stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then the other thing you can find me on, 2 other things I guess right now, is Legend of the Five Rings is a Samurai Champloo style role-playing game that is at 1 p.m. Eastern every Sunday. And then for the next 4 or 5 weeks, depending on how long it takes, I'll be on Devil's Luck Gaming, where we get all costumed up to play Shadowrunners. I am running a game of Shadowrun 4th edition for them at 8 p.m. Eastern every Sunday.
Oh, Shadowrun.
Oh, Shadowrun. Less complicated than Rifts, and yet still complicated. It is absolutely less complicated than Rifts.
So many dice.
Disagree. You rolled 30 dice to do 1 damage.
Wow.
You can roll 30 dice to do 1 damage. That is correct. That's not a lie.
Many dice.
So, all right, and Jericho Jack.
Hello, everybody. I am Evan. I'm Evan Jennings 64 on the Twitter, and I'm Zombie Love Juice on Instagram. You can see me here playing Rifts every Tuesday and running the Blades game on Wednesday with Throck and Kevin, as he previously mentioned. And I run a game usually every weekend at home called When We Were Evil. It was an evil campaign with my friends that you can find on our YouTube channel called Beyond EMH YouTube. And they're terrible people, and it's great. And tonight, I loved this. It was a lot of role play. It was a lot of interesting, like Rock said, lore. It was like a heavy lore night, which I love learning about the world. I think my favorite part was Jovra and Hello's conversation, which I really thought was very cool. I mean, Jovra, acted the way Jover does, where she's taking care of people and being nice. But we got to see Hello actually talking to someone, which is different than what she does, where she analyzes people instead. I like this. I like seeing the development of character, and this is what this whole episode was, which is very, very cool. I dug it. This was awesome. I didn't do that much, but I had a really good time, and that's like, I love that. I also like that I got to spar with Iola. I think that's cool. So, and also, Throck, I would like to keep up the notes thing. I wrote another note to you just in case, but I was waiting, but the opportunity never showed.
It never came up. I know. I wrote other notes as well.
We'll just save them.
Okay, I did also. Yes,
this will undoubtedly keep happening, and
Yes.
I'm on a stockpile. So, I think this one was awesome. It was a different kind of episode, but it was very, very cool. I had a really good time.
Thank you.
Yeah, I forgot to say my favorite part, which was Iola and Jovra's cuddle moment. Like, that was just a moment of two wrong people showing their soft side of like, we are friends and we're in this together. And I adored that moment.
I'm so glad that the two of you have that history.
You guys play that real well too.
Fantastic.
Very cool.
Good stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah. Strong
All right,
people
everybody.
can be soft too.
Yeah.
Squeaky, squeaky.
Not Jack.
Oh, we'll get to Jack's softness.
When we gut you like a fish.
Oh, it'll be emotional.
Okay.
So, I'm Kevin. I'm your DM for this. I am Jim. I'm no longer Jim DeBison. I am Bisonic Kevin on Twitter, which is fun. And I'm all over the Discord. I spend a lot of time on the Discord. I've cut back on Twitter because it was giving me anxiety.
Good.
Yeah.
Same.
You needed to.
Yeah, I needed to. It's just like, oh, sadness.
Yeah.
Oh. But yes, but care about the world and the things in it. That's also something that's very important. All right. So, I'm in the Rift in the Blades game, and I thank you all for joining us here. And once again, shout out to our fantastic sponsors, Devin Rue at ruinc.com. Tabletoploot.com has great dice and whatnots and good things. And our official sponsor, So Nerdware, at sonerdware.com, run by our good friend So Matty Games.
It's what the nerds wear.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm just saying.
All right. We also have podcasts, a Patreon. Patreon's at Welcome Party RPG. Please join us. There's some cool stuff there. Our podcasts are RPG Welcome Party on Podbean and other places. And thank you so much for everyone for joining us. And I think I loved the conversation between Hello and Jovra. And every now and then there'd be a moment of silence, and I'd think, should I cut the scene here? And I'd let it sit for a moment, and it would get better. And so thank you both for that.
Thanks for letting us be super awkward in our silence. Like,
Your
it's
characters
wonderful.
are awkward. You need that. But yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. So, going to set up a raid?
Yeah, we're going to go say hi to Manapot Studios. Manapot
Ooh,
Studios
so-
currently playing some Pathfinder over on Manapot Studios at twitchtv.com. So we are going to go give them some love now. Everybody wave and say bye. Bye.
That's a noise.